What's up, ladies and gents? This is KSigKid, coming at you with another Destiny video. Today it's Sunday, so it's time for our weekly question and answer session. This is actually the 10th one that we've done, so by now you surely know the drill. If you've got a question you would like to see me potentially answer next week, go ahead and leave it in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and smack that like button and subscribe to the channel. And speaking of subscribers, we're actually well on our way to 3,000 subscribers on this channel, which is amazing. For those of you that were with us from the beginning of this year, I set a goal out to hit 5,000 by the end of 2016, which would have been pretty much a 400% growth. The fact that we're nearing in on 3,000 right now is mind-blowing, so thank you very much. You've all been doing amazing work helping to make this channel grow. And we got to get into our question and answer session while we have a little bit of Iron Banner gameplay in the background. We're going to start things off with David asking if I think that Destiny is going to last the full 10 years. So there's a lot of money on the line with Destiny. A lot of money, I guess, not on the line, but a lot of money that was put out. And a lot of people whose families actually depend on Destiny succeeding. Whether it be in Bungie or Activision, there are people whose jobs and livelihoods are pretty much on the line. And there's a lot of them. And a lot of them want this game to be amazing and to succeed. So the good thing is that we have a lot of brains working behind the scenes, getting ready, making plans, getting things together to make sure that this IP, this new intellectual property, can last and stick around for a long time. And I do believe it will. I believe that it will last its 10 years. I believe it's actually going to take a little bit longer than 10 years because the games won't be coming out on the schedule that they initially intended, because obviously delays and everything aren't always going to change the way that games are released. But I believe this does have the potential to make it 10 years, just to be one of those long-running IPs. What I'll say though is that Destiny 2 is going to be a big benchmark for the series. It's going to be a big benchmark because we're going to be getting rid of last-gen generation games, and we're going to focus solely on the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. And because of that, we're actually going to see Destiny as a current-gen game instead of a last-gen game. And because of that, I'm really expecting a lot of stuff to go into Destiny 2. So I'm really looking forward to Destiny 2 and seeing where that takes the series. Destiny 2 is where it has a chance to really kind of break away from this, shine, add a little bit more things that players are looking for. There's already a ton of stuff packed into this game, which blows my mind for a last-gen game. But when Destiny 2 comes out, I think that's going to give us a really good idea as to how much this game actually has tucked away in the corners and how much it's going to be able to grow and evolve into the future in its 10-year plan. Our second question comes from Cam Does COD, and what Cam's asking is if I think that Iron Banner drops should be a little bit more randomized so that you could get more gear. And I think in general, the Iron Banner drops need to be tweaked. Back before the Taken King came out, you were actually able to get more drops than you get right now. What I mean by that is you used to be able to get Lord Saladin's drops for the week, and you used to be able to get the year that happened from the previous Iron Banner. So this is only a new thing to Destiny, where you're only able to get Lord Saladin's gear during the Iron Banner, and I think that's a shame. I think it's a shame that the Iron Banner drops don't happen as frequently as they should. This event comes around once a month for a week only. You only get a week to play in this, and I don't feel that we see enough of the Iron Banner drops happening. We definitely see them. I mean, by the end of the week, you're going to get a couple chests, you might get a pair of gloves, you might get one of each gun. I haven't got the machine gun to drop for me just yet. I haven't hit rank 5 on all characters, but I am rank 5 on one so far. No machine gun as of yet. And I think that because we've got this special gear, and we're fighting with the RNG for the drops, and then we fight with the RNG for the perks on the gun, I really think that they should at least fix the RNG for the drops and let us have them a little bit more. And I'd really like it if they went back to the way that they used to, where we could also get the previous version of the Iron Banner drops to happen as well. I think that's nice, give you a little bit more options, a little bit more chances to get Iron Banner gear, and I think that's always a good thing. For question number 3, we're going to double up a little bit. We have Team Lore asking me what my most overpowered god roll on a legendary or rare weapon was, and then Omer asking me what my favorite and most loved shotgun was. So I'm actually going to combine these things, because back in year 1, I got a Fellwinter's Lie that I loved. It was amazing. It had shot package, it had max range with Hammerforge whenever Hammerforge was doing its Hammerforge thing, instead of getting nerfed a little bit, and it had luck in the chamber, and aggressive ballistics. pretty much this was the best of the best that you could get for shotguns back in year one. That was amazing. Maxed range, shot package, and then I had luck in the chamber with aggressive ballistics. So if I happen to be out of my range for a little bit, aggressive ballistics would increase my impact to make sure that I was dealing out damage, or I might get that extra damage boost from luck in the chamber just to be able to put out that extra damage out of a further range than normal. Not to mention, was this good in PvP. It was also really good in PvE, specifically in the Vault of Glass, whenever you're doing the Gatekeeper phase and you need somebody to run to the back and take care of Minotaurs if you happen to go through the portals one at a time. I was able to just run back there. I was able to just take them down for as long as I had special ammo. My team could have taken forever. As long as I had special ammo, I was going to be able to easily hold down the back, and that was quite priceless. So that's got to be my favorite shotgun that I've ever had, and the most god roll that I've ever had on a gun. Next up, we have Karen Boy Gamer asking me what my job is, and what my hobby might be outside of games and YouTube. So, believe it or not, now my current job is apparently an accountant. Yes, that is a far cry from previously working as an artist in a video game company. That's a very far cry, a very, very far cry. But you know what? Sometimes that's just the way that life takes you. You know, I needed to work at a job that was a little bit more stable, that made a little bit more money, and this is just how things ended up going for me. It's not something that I anticipated, but it is what happened, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I do like the people that I work with. The place is nice. They're relatively laid back, so it's a nice place to go ahead and work, but it's still a little bit surprising to me, even to this day. As far as something that I like outside of video games, at least on the same par with video games, I'm a big fan of NFL football. A big fan. I don't really get into the college game all that much, but NFL, yeah. In fact, I was just thinking about it the other day. Whenever the NFL season comes back around, I'm going to have to change these videos. I'm not going to be able to do them on Sundays. I'm definitely looking forward to the NFL draft at the end of this month. I'm going to be watching it for all the days that it's on, starting on Thursday until it finishes up on Saturday. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. It always is, at least for me. I don't know all the players from college, but I do like to see who's going to go to each team, so that's what I like. Finally, for our final question, we have Daniel asking me if I could take any exotic and buff it back up to its max level of power. Which exotic would I pick? And there are a number of good choices for this, but I'm going to pick the Mythoclast. I'm going to pick the Vex Mythoclast because I didn't get to play with it at its peak power level because it didn't drop for me. It didn't drop for me until Bungie completely nerfed it and then buffed it back a little bit, but they never buffed it to the power levels that it had in the beginning. In the beginning, it was amazing. Mythoclast had been affected by all the different fusion rifle nerfs, so it lost its ammo, it lost its stability, it lost its range, it lost all those things, it lost its actual power level. Whenever it was first out, this thing would make people cry in Crucible, make people cry and leave games, and I think it would be so hilarious to have back in there. Everybody would be shooting and melting everybody within half a second flat. People would be leaving games, people would be complaining. It would be just so much fun for a little while. And I'd also be running around with it in PvE. Mythoclast for sure would be my choice. Definitely, definitely. And it's still one of the best looking guns in the game. So anyway, guys and gals, if you've got a question for next week, go ahead and leave it in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and smack that like button and subscribe to the channel. Check out these awesome videos. Good luck with your raids, your drops, your Mythoclast, and I'll see you around in Destiny. Sexy Vexy.